All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trade. Today is Monday, July 12th, 2021. Markets modestly higher today. S&P up 1/3%, NASDAQ about the same, and Dow about the same as well. We're also getting a little bit of push here into the PM session, but nothing too crazy of note. VIX starting to bottom out just a little bit here. Semiconductors having a nice day as well. Again, we have a lot of news this week. It is OPEX week. Remember, we had the beginning of the month started right at the end of this week. So this is the third week of the month. So we're getting OPEX kind of like a week early, essentially, this month. And we do have earnings as well kicking off. Bank season, or earnings season, are the banks. JP Morgan running into earnings. They report tomorrow. Goldman Sachs reports tomorrow as well. And Pepsi also. Those are the three big names. Really outside of that, not too many big names reporting tomorrow, but later in the week we get more, and then the following week we get a few more bigger names. But so we'll keep an eye on that. We also have some CPI data tomorrow. I think PPI is Wednesday, and then we have Jerome Powell testifying Wednesday and Thursday. So there's lots of news, lots of action potentially this week. Yields trading a little bit higher here. Again, just kind of continuing off this short-term oversold condition. It's possible that they bounce up to the 20 moving average, maybe put in another low. And that's probably where I'd be looking to enter. But I'm watching yields very closely here. Now, following up with yesterday's video on the airlines, we did get a dip below, a dip lower here on some of these airlines. On the first candle here, like we're looking at JetBlue, basically filled this gap. I did not get into any of these yet. It's very hard to get in on a quick drop like that in the very, on the very first candle on the open. Boeing dropped a little bit too. Let's see, American Airlines had a little bit of dip. I'm looking more for pattern here. So if these stocks can consolidate sideways a little bit, maybe get some OPEX chop, and kind of put in a bullish pattern, a bullish base, that's where I'd be looking to enter. Now, after considering earnings season is coming up, I know yesterday I was talking about possibly JetBlue or Southwest or AAL as a stock that I'd rather be in than the Jets. I am actually reconsidering. I do want to be in the Jets as opposed to being in any of those names because of earnings. You never know what could happen. You could pick one equity. They could have a terrible earnings report. They could have some news with their CEO, whereas the rest of the sector could be fine, but that company specific. So I want to be a little bit mitigating risk here. So if I do enter, it'll probably be in the Jets, although I will probably straddle it with a Boeing long as well. I don't think that we'd be adding too much risk by owning Boeing and the Jets simultaneously. Boeing's a blue chip company. There's probably not anything serious that's going to really drive the stock unless there's something, really big news wise, but they don't report for a few weeks. So we'll see what they do. They may even run into earnings. So, but anyways, we'll keep an eye on that. I am looking for pattern here on these airline stocks. Let's take a look here, just quickly scanning. Crude pulling back a little bit. Kind of just holding this pattern. I do expect crude to move lower in the next couple of weeks, but right now it's holding up, and we'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. Let's see if there's anything else here. Let's take a look at the transports. Yeah, transport's just kind of having a neutral day here, just holding this area. Nice reversal on Friday, so we'll see if it gives it a pattern here. If it can consolidate in this upper range, it may want to reverse and push higher, but if not, who knows, it could roll back down. I still think it has to test this 14.2 area here. It's just so close to filling this gap. And usually when you get that close to a gap, it sort of acts like a magnet. And it's very strange for it to not actually get filled when you get into that range and that close to it. Dollar index also holding up well. So this is interesting here. So we had these counter trend rallies here last year, September, October, then November, and then earlier this year, March, and then April. But notice how we put in these pivots, and it pretty much, as soon as it made a high, it got shot right back down, sold right back down, sold right back down, sold down here, tried to put in a little bit of consolidation, and then you made another higher high, and then immediately just sold right off. Whereas now it looks like the dollar is actually basing. It's not being immediately sold at resistance and continually sold. It's actually holding up. So we'll see what happens here. If the dollar can consolidate a little bit longer, it can put in some energy to attack this high here at 93 and 93.40, we'll call it. And if it gets above that, then it's going to 94.50. So again, this is kind of, I've been saying this for a few weeks now. This is sort of the elephant in the room here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Markets are ignoring it for now, but and it may be a foregone conclusion that we have to go up and hit this upper trend line here at about 440 and change. And again, that would coincide with what I've been saying for a while now, which is the VIX would be flushing out and putting in one more new low. And that's where I'd be looking to really add, and because I am expecting some type of move here in August coming up, pretty much across the board, yields, markets, everything. So anyway, not to get too far ahead of ourselves yet, but again, earnings, CPI data this week, and keeping an eye on those airline stocks for a move lower. Nice move lower on net here. I'm still holding this short, actually. So nice little reversal there today. This one has been just really overbought, and I got a sell signal on the daily and weekly time frame. So I'm actually expecting a pullback here. If we can take this pivot out, we're going right back to 95, and I have a fib level at about 92.50. You also have this 50 moving average, so those would be your downside targets there. But anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day. Oh, and also I am planning on doing a live stream at some point tomorrow night, so stay tuned for that as well. All right, guys, take care.